stunning new security rule in full effect at Parkland, and activist students are not happy. The aftermath of the Parkland shooting has been ripe with nonsense, comedy, and people who simply cannot be pleased no matter what happens. Student activists called for increased measures of security in the Broward School District, specifically the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, and the answers they received weren't satisfactory according to the students, even though it was a measure that could be quickly implemented. What the students were required to do was nothing more than a quick measure of increased security, but the students weren't happy about it. However, they were unhappy for all the wrong reasons, and their outlandish behavior on social media is a prime example of why the voting age should be raised to at least 30. The students at the Parkland school are now required to utilize clear backpacks in hopes that people will not bring weapons to school. The clear backpacks will most likely allow other students and staff to see if there is a handgun, knife, taser, or any other malicious weapon that can be used to harm or kill another human being. The clear backpacks faced instant scrutiny because they are somewhat silly, but they serve a transparent purpose to prevent people from bringing weapons or other paraphernalia into the school building. It might prevent students from bringing weapons, drugs, or other banned items into the school. But people weren't happy. A flock of mostly teen girls who were probably going through their menstrual cycle had voiced their opinions on Twitter. Many girls don't want to use clear backpacks because they'll be embarrassed at their feminine products being seen. Even though the girls can place the items in a smaller container so it's not seen, it's just another reason for people to complain. The students claim that it would not protect anyone from a shooting. However, if the students at the Maryland school had clear backpacks, then perhaps a girl wouldn't have been shot and placed on life support where she ultimately passed away. Clear backpacks are certainly something to laugh at, however, they can be preventative in regards to protecting people from targeted attacks. The incident that occurred in the Maryland school shooting was a boy who specifically shot a certain girl. If that boy was unable to bring his gun into the school, then perhaps she would be alive today. Some people criticize the clear backpacks by saying that people could not fit an AR-15 in them anyway, so how would they protect anyone from those weapons? The answer is simple: they won't. Anyone with an AR-15 will simply begin shooting at people when they walk into the building. They won't stop to let someone take their weapon out of their backpack. In the case of a targeted attack, the clear backpacks act as a deterrent. Metal detectors would likely be better, but they need to be paid for, ordered, installed, and might take a little bit longer to get set up, if they're not there already. This is the same generation who eats Tide Pods and snorts condoms. They're not exactly professionals on school security or the Constitution. Here are some replies from angry teenagers on Twitter. Be wary, as the tweets lack logic and it's a good case for moving the voting age up to 30. Some people you just can't please. Lauren Hogg mocked the security measure and tied it into the NRA, who has nothing to do with school security, nor did they commit the shooting that happened at the Marjory Stoneman Douglas School. This was nothing more than a cry for attention and a way to gain social media likes and retweets. Even though the Broward school districts apparently have about $100 million to spend on security, which they hopefully do something good fault with, the clear backpacks are a quick way to deter and prevent smaller attacks. She mocked the clear backpacks, tied in the NRA, and mentioned schools are being turned into prisons. If only she had ever spent a day in a real prison, then she'd know she's sitting on a chair made of freedom in her classroom. Her tweet is shameful and a prime example of how this generation coming up simply doesn't grasp simple concepts. Another misguided teenager is worried more about her tangible items than human life. What kind of clothes and food is she carrying in her book bag that she doesn't want people to see? A person like this, who bases more importance on things that have no value over someone's life, is someone who should lose their right to vote. It's sad that someone thinks this poorly and sees no value in life, but would rather not show what's in her bag. Has she ever flown on an airplane? TSA reveals what's in your bag to an entire airport worth of people. Seeing a few items in a clear backpack is not a big deal. It's a hilarious and sad moment in time when a person whose Twitter account is a pickle in a top hat who makes more sense than a teenager angry about unintended circumstances. There's a great quote from the movie Dead Poets Society that makes sense in regards to the clear backpacks and the teenagers whining about them.